Hey, good morning, Aurora.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome back to Aurora Health Hustle. I'm your host today, Felicia Thomas Williams, and I'm with the beautiful and incomparable
Lynda. Oh, thank you. Lynda White.
Listen, if we don't hype ourselves up, what are we doing?
I know. We got to hype each other up.
You know what I'm saying?
We got to cheer for each other, support each other. And we are continuing our Breast Cancer Awareness Month series. Hey, this is our last day.
Yes, this has been an amazing month.
You know what?
With our guests?
That part. Oh, gosh. Yes, our guests have been phenomenal. Where we've been sharing stories that educate, empower, and remind us all how powerful this community is and the support.
Yeah. I'm super excited. Today's story is incredibly special and unique. Our guest found a lump while she was breastfeeding. Oh my goodness. And this was while I'm just tripping on that part alone. What makes your story so impactful is that it reminds us breast cancer can show up at any time, even when you least expect it.
Yeah. Now, she is now in readmission, right?
Something like that.
Yes.
We'll talk it through.
Yes. And using her experience to encourage other women to listen to their bodies, trust their instincts, and never ignore when something feels off, especially that part, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Because we like to, it's nothing, or we just avoid the actual, actual problem. Please join us in welcoming Vanessa Torres to the show. Thank you so much for being here
so happy to see you today.
Thank you
letting
for
our viewers
me.
know and sharing your story.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thanks for having me.
So let's start from the beginning, right? Can you share how you first discovered, because we're going to get right into it, that something wasn't right while you were breastfeeding, right? Mm-hmm. That was the whole, and this is so, how you say this? It's very real. Like, wow. Breastfeeding.
For so many women that have children and they have the babies, and it's super, super relatable.
Yes.
And you would never think that someone would catch it in this manner. So when I heard that part of it, I was kind of like, stopped in my tracks.
Yeah. Yes.
With that one. So let's have you go ahead and start sharing from how you first discovered that something wasn't right while you were breastfeeding. Take us back to that moment. And I like to say this, I always like to put this out there because we understand that you're sharing something extremely personal. You're still probably all over the place with your emotions. You're probably still dealing with a lot of that. So I want you to share what you feel comfortable sharing with us, okay? Mm-hmm. So we'll let you take it away and we'll chime in as we need to. We feel like things that we want to pinpoint a little bit more for our audience, and we'll kind of touch on those things as we go and just let it naturally flow.
Okay. So my son was probably 3 months when I felt something unusual, this lump. And it was my first time breastfeeding. So I thought, it's a clogged duct or something related to breastfeeding. Yeah. So I kind of let time go by because I had these little lumps before, and they'd kind of go away on their own after massaging and the heat and all that. If you know, you know. And so it wasn't until probably 3 months later that I'm like, okay, this thing isn't going away. Let me go and get it checked out. And thankfully I did, because, it turned out to be something more than just a clogged duct. Yeah.
That's, that's interesting because I don't have any children, so let's just start there. Okay, so just thinking about it from the standpoint of having had a child, and you said that you've noticed lumps before. Can you just for the people here that don't know about that part, what the lumps is about, from you thinking it's just something normal? Because that sounds like we were ready to normalize that in being a mom, that was something that's expected, and that is it. I can see how that can easily be minimized, where it's like, that's what that is. I'm not going to worry about it. Why am I getting myself so worked up? I'm not going to go to that. let's talk a little bit more about that aspect of it.
Yeah. That was my first time breastfeeding, so it was all new to me too. And I think that's where it kind of gets lost a little bit, or I did at least, to like wait it out instead of getting it checked out right away. But so when you're breastfeeding, you can get clogged ducts that you have to get out, or like I was saying, like if you can massage it out or use heat to get it broken down, essentially. Okay. And if you don't, it can turn into like an infection. I might be saying it wrong. I don't know if exactly it's called, but yeah, it can turn into an infection. You get and then your milk can't come out. So that's what I thought was happening.
Yeah.
And I did have, around my tumor, other
lumps that was
clogged ducts. So again, I was kind of getting
now
it
backtracking
mixed up.
too. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that. Yes.
Yeah. So
the struggle is real.
Yeah.
So let me ask this question: when you went into the doctor's office, what was that experience like? What did they say? Did they try? I'm curious as to what their response was. Did they try to brush it off? Did they take you seriously? What was that like? Because I have my issue with those aspects of the healthcare system. I won't get on my tangent right now on that, but
I've seen the other ones.
What was that experience like?
First of all, I love my primary doctor.
Oh, good.
I've been going to her for years, probably almost 10 years now, and she took it very seriously, didn't question it, not once. And she did kind of say, I think it might be just like a fatty, deposit or something, but let's still get it checked out. And before you know it, I was getting a mammogram, an ultrasound, biopsy, it started moving really quickly after that. So she didn't waste any time.
I got a second part to that question, because for someone that doesn't have children, and this is an area where I feel like I probably need to get more educated myself. So I know throughout the pregnancy, you probably had an obstetrician. Mm-hmm. How did the primary care become the one that you're there's a reason for the madness with me with asking that question, because there's a certain, and I get it, I'm not going to diminish at all a doctor, a primary care physician, but was that an area of specialty for them? Because you know what I mean? Because usually your gynecologist is the one that's on you with the mammogram.
Yeah.
Right.
That's more so their area.
Right.
So I'm kind of just, good that you had a good doctor that's primary care and she's really trying to look for what's the better, but there was no other doctor that you could get. Did you feel like you needed to get a second opinion from? I'm just curious about that part of it, only because I hear primary care and I'm just like,
I can.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, because they're a general doctor, so it's baseline to me that they know all the basics. I get it.
Right.
But because we're talking about breast tissue, because I've just had a child, because should I be talking to another doctor to know for sure? I guess that's really what my question is.
I understand. So after I had my son, and he was my second, and I had kind of the same experience with my OB-GYN doctors, that once they were born, you just go in for your 6-week postpartum appointment, and then that's kind of it. You don't really get a follow-up until your yearly.
Yes.
And so I guess I didn't feel that
you needed to.
Yeah. And I don't, because they were kind of just like, okay, you had your baby, we'll see you again in a year, and unless there's other, they didn't cross my mind, and it probably also had to do with having that good relationship with my primary doctor, that I didn't second guess that decision going to her.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't want to pivot too far from that, but I just wanted to ask that question because other people may be thinking the exact same thing. Is going to my primary care doctor the best solution for me if I'm in that type of situation, or who should I be contacting?
Yeah.
I think that's an important conversation. Obviously, I would think that if it were me, I'm just annoying. I'm just annoying.
Well,
we're going to call it, yes, I'm
and you
inquisitive.
Yes.
I'm coming to you. I need information. And if I don't like what you're telling me, I'm going elsewhere.
Yeah.
That's kind of just how I roll.
As it should be.
Yeah.
Yes.
And sometimes people are like, we so quick to do this.
Fear.
And we don't want to be bothered with it because it's a process. I have to now find a new doctor. I don't want to be bothered. Let me just keep going. Or you don't go at all.
Yeah.
That's just what happens. At any rate, I don't want to get too far off topic from there because I can.
Yeah,
I can.
no.
I have the
and it's facts too.
Yeah, but going back to you went to your doctor, and then let's go back to that. What you had to do testing wise and all the things there. I just want to kind of get back to the point of that before we pivot to the next question.
So she had me do a mammogram and the ultrasound. So side note, they did not find it on my mammogram, and on the ultrasound. And the ultrasound, they also couldn't find it. They only they waited until I could tell them where it was too. So because yeah.
So they didn't find it in the mammogram,
Right.
And they didn't find it in the ultrasound.
Right.
So you had to point it out.
I had to tell them.
Okay, so this is interesting, right? Because I don't remember that. I didn't know that part. See, that's even scarier.
This is why we feel like, for me, there is just, I just struggle with this so much because we've had past guests on also, and they're talking through obviously the dense breast tissue, and that just makes it harder in itself. And then, if you're keeping your regular mammogram appointments and you're going every year and everything seems to be fine, then all of a sudden you go the next year and it's like, oh, bam, I have stage 2. Our last guest Selma on the show was talking about, I went the next year and it's like now I have stage 2. Yes. How is it stage 2?
How did it skip 1?
I'm just trying, because it makes me really wonder, was it possible that it was there prior and they didn't catch it?
Yes.
And this
goes back to what she said. They missed it, the mammogram, and missed it ultrasound. Like how many others have been missed to be diagnosed to stage 4?
It's so crazy. So anyway, you had to show them where it was, and then what went from there?
Probably about a week later, I had the biopsy done, and then from there everything just moved so quickly, and I didn't even have time to process what was going on, which I was grateful. They didn't take their time with anything, but I didn't have any time to dwell on it. I just I was rolling with the punches,
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
You kind of got to go through the motions. But my last question, so once they determined what it was, what was the diagnosis?
So it's a long one. It was it's HER2 positive, DCIS was inductal, and so meaning it's inside the ducts of the breast.
Deep in the tissue.
Originally they had said stage 1, but of course they didn't know until it was until surgery that it was stage 2, because it was in one lymph node, so it had started to spread. Wow. And it's estrogen driven, so
of course.
So it was hormones.
What's so incredible to me about this is, and I think Star, the very first interview we did, she kind of spoke to it. It's like, because that's kind of predominantly what was hers. And she said, how is it the thing we need the most as women can be the thing that kills us?
Yeah.
That contributes to killing us. And this is why it's so important for us to educate ourselves about that in itself. And then depending on the type of cancer that if you have or get diagnosed with, how do I change my lifestyle? What do I need to do to live the best life possible, where I am making myself, trying to get around, having that kind of an issue to happen to me. Because there's a lot of things that are within our control that I don't think we recognize. I don't want to get so far off on a tangent, but thank you for saying that, and thank you for sharing that. But yeah, it's so much of that, and I just think we need to be empowered to understand it. And I'm gonna say this until I'm all shades of Smurf blue. We spend so many hours scrolling on social media, stressing ourselves out about what this person over here doing, what that person right here doing, and everybody living these fake lives that they want you to think is what's happening with them. And you're so worried because you're comparing yourself over there instead of trying to concentrate on stuff that's important. How about you researching things that's going on in your life and trying to figure that out versus
I love that you mentioned that. I know you mentioned it in
oh my God. That's one thing, if you know me, I'm extremely passionate about, and I will become very animated when it comes to education and healthcare.
Yes.
Figure it out and stop being in a vacuum, because we have control over what we put in our space. What we consume, what we learn, and and you can change that entire narrative for yourself. You know what I mean? So
it takes yourself to do that.
I'll get off my bandwagon, Lynda. You can pivot to the next question.
Okay, our next question is.
Yes, thank you.
Where is this question at?
Oh my God.
Because we went off way.
Being young and healthy. Okay, so the next question is, a lot of women believe that if they're young and healthy or breastfeeding, let me articulate, breast cancer isn't something that they need to worry about. What do you want people, especially new moms, to know from your experience?
It's very easy to think you're too young, too healthy, to even think about breast cancer affecting you. But cancer doesn't wait for the right time. It doesn't wait for anyone.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing I've learned. There's no family history of breast cancer.
That was going to be a question I asked.
My mom passed away from pancreatic cancer, but that's not related to this at all.
What is going on here?
I know.
Didn't we just, I think, I am this is hurting my heart here. Because this family history of cancer.
Yes.
It's not just, whether you have the gene, if it's breast cancer and it's hereditary, you have the gene. This is a completely different animal in itself, right?
It is.
But the history of the cancer, did you know that? Prior, or did you have to? Well, you say it's your mom, so you knew. But that's one thing I kind of want to talk about and just put that out there. We need to ask more questions to understand family history. Yeah. Because a lot of us don't.
That goes back to researching instead of scrolling. You got to figure it out.
Now, obviously, if it's your four corners, and I always say four corners meaning your house.
Yeah.
Mom, dad, that type of thing. Then kind of what's going on there. But outside of that, where is the history of cancer? Because that makes a difference, I believe.
It's
in your whether is it going to skip a generation?
Yeah,
is it going to be another type of cancer?
Yeah,
absolutely.
We got to be aware of what we're going to be facing if, heaven forbid, we do. At least we know ahead of time how to prevent it,
right?
And know the symptoms of it and know everything about it.
Yeah. So, anything else you want to add there, Ms. Vanessa?
With my mom having pancreatic cancer, first thing I wanted to do was get genetic testing.
Absolutely.
And at the time, this was now probably 10 plus years ago, they wouldn't do it, because there was no family history. They didn't want to test at all. But as soon as they found out my diagnosis with breast cancer, then they were right away, we're doing it, insurance was going to cover it and everything. Yeah. And that one was bittersweet because there was nothing on that report that said genetics caused the cancer, which makes it a little infuriating because then it's it's environmental, but then trying to narrow it down to exactly what it was
is the hardest part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at the end of the day, what we can just do is try to live the best life we can as much as what we have control over. You know, we control what we put in our bodies. We control what we put on our bodies. Environmental, there's only so much we can do depending on where you live, what you're exposed to. There's only so much you can do there.
Yes.
But where do you want to lie in the spectrum of I'm not just going to do this anymore. And I'm not saying be perfect because we're not perfect. So you have to figure out what that means to you. But where can I clean up some of my behaviors and the things that I'm doing on a regular basis?
Yeah.
And you'll drive yourself crazy
Yes.
trying to get it all out.
It makes
you know,
it worse, stressing about it,
so
too.
Yeah.
you
can't
have to have that good balance of.
Absolutely.
I've heard about like the 20-80 rule. 80%.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm 90-10, but I'm kind of an enigma.
That's my goal to get there one day.
So we are crunching in time.
Yeah, go
and
ahead.
so we're gonna keep moving forward with the questions. Sorry.
It's me. I
No,
love
it's
to
okay.
pivot. No,
No,
I need people to get the facts
We
and the
need to make
information.
this show a little longer. No, I'm just kidding. No. Hint, hint. Okay, so you're balancing motherhood and treatment all at once because when women get on this
Listen,
tangent.
I can talk for 4 hours on this conversation.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. So pull me in, Lynda. Reel me in. Go ahead.
So you were balancing the motherhood, and how many children do you have?
2.
Okay, so this is the second. Your second son is when you found out. Okay, so now you're balancing motherhood twice.
Yeah,
Two
I had
times.
2 under 2.
Yes.
I had
my gosh.
my youngest was
You
6
just made
months.
me
Girl, hey, one of
Yeah.
you got
And
white
boys,
hair.
boys.
And,
Yeah.
and they so
Okay.
rambunctious.
Don't get me started. Okay, so speak about that. What was the season like for you physically, emotionally, and spiritually going through that with your 2 boys?
It was.
Great question.
I'd be lying if I said it wasn't hard, but I think they helped me not to. They helped me keep moving.
That's awesome.
Keeping it moving, and literally and and figuratively. But they were my motivation, to fight, because of course with my mom seeing my mom go through her cancer journey and not winning her battle with that was hard. It was hard not to think the worst, with mine. So it's very easy to get caught up in like taking care of your babies too and not worrying about yourself like you should be. But I always look back to that time, and it's made me realize how precious motherhood can be, and how strong yet tender motherhood is.
Yes, that part too.
Yeah.
Now, I know we have so many other questions, but we're going to wrap this up here. So you're now in readmission, and I said that earlier in the show.
You said you kind of said something like that.
And now, what's
so? My doctors consider it's abbreviated NED, which is no evidence of disease, which I won't be considered in remission till about 5 years out because it's so likely to come back within that time.
So this is okay. Don't say anything. I know you're ready to because they didn't see it in a mammogram. They didn't see it in the ultrasound, but they had to find out the stage during surgery. So that just says everything, So,
I'm just going to say this because I know you said something to the effect of, the balance between motherhood and yourself. And we're gonna leave it here with what lessons, if any, did this teach you about trusting your intuition, taking control of your health, and self-advocacy? Anything you want to share with our listeners about that? And if it means you're going to add something that speaks to self-care, because that's a huge one in our world.
Yeah, it is.
Please, you have the floor to speak to that.
So the self-care one, I'm still working on that.
Yeah.
That's probably my biggest challenge. Self-care, and that kind of for me, it kind of ties into asking for help. I always feel like I gotta do it all.
Big one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry, what was the second part?
No, just anything you wanted to share about what this has taught you, any lessons from the experience when it comes to taking control of your health, and trusting your intuition, anything like that you want to share from that aspect. Being a mom, balancing the boys, and because our listeners, they probably got the children thing down. And, you know, how can you do that and still give the emphasis to you when you need to do that?
Yeah, I think the biggest part was listening to my body. I've always been pretty in tune with my body, so I knew something was off, but listening to that gut feeling, you know, something's not right, and doing something about it, as inconvenient and scary as that can be, it's very much necessary.
Wow. Yes, it is. Now, Vanessa, I want to thank you for being so transparent, so strong, and encouraging all of our viewers to be aware, right? So that's our, I know, because we have so much else to talk about, but we have time crunch here. So I want to thank you again.
Thank you. Thank you for
coming
me.
on to Aurora's Health Hustle with Felicia and myself.
Are we at time? We're at time almost. Okay.
Yep.
One more thing I'm just going to say.
Okay.
As we close out Breast Cancer Awareness Month, we just want to say thank you to every survivor who shared their story, every organization that hosted their events, and every person who showed up, donated, danced, walked, or simply reminded a sister to get checked. Your impact matters.
Yes.
Until the next time, have a great day.